The system that we had was freezing a couple times a day. It was unreliably adding data. We would periodically have stop points and we needed something new. We decided to change vendors, canceled our contract with the other one and moved over, and then looked over to see if we could achieve that customization that we weren't getting, and saw that it not only was achievable, but it was just kind of the built-in standard that Epic could do. And then found on the back side that not only was the support what was promised, but I would say greatly exceeded my expectations. Two of the things that we measure is our hit rate, which is whether or not we're winning new business when we're competing for it, and our retention rate, whether we're keeping our existing business. And those are probably the two best indicators that we use. All of our competitions were tracked on a system that was way outside of our agency management system. What we soon found when we got over to Epic, the ability to track it, and then we can manage it. You can't manage what you can't measure. We know that the Epic side is tighter data. I think whether we're missing one or two retentions or one or two new hit rates doesn't really change our stats that we measure. And we have about a 93% retention rate on existing business. We think about 5% of those are going out of business, which means we're losing about 3% of our customers are making some other choice. And we used to have about a 33% hit rate on new business, and it has moved up to about 42.5% last month, and it's been right in the low 40s now for the last 6 months. But the fact that we can now do that without putting in a whole separate system is where we've saved an enormous amount of time to track the two things that matter to us. In trying to run a profitable business, certainly the key to that is our producers and our CSRs handle more and more accounts, and we have them up to some pretty significant account loads. But as time passed and the requirements of the job being so paper-driven is that more and more of our time was spent filing and forwarding and sending communications, and less time was spent talking to the customer about their needs and their desires. And what we found with the installation of Epic is that there was a tremendous reduction in the amount of time we had to spend filing, coordinating, organizing, and transmitting communications. And so all that time that was shrunk there has now come back to us, that we can now spend talking to the customer about their needs. It's kind of putting us back on the foot that we want to be on with our customers. Instead of a paper clearinghouse, we are an insurance advisory service, and it's given us maybe a 15% shift in our total labor hours are now more available to spend our time doing what we should be doing with the customers.